right, thanks for watching. So real quick, Merkabah Society members, make sure you guys check the ad for the update for the latest videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But yeah, I want to get right into this video. So a lot of people are talking about the Constitution, talking about 14th Amendment and everything that's happening with Trump and the illegals. As I talked about this stuff before. But, you know, when we talk about the Constitution, when we talk about what's happening with history and what happened to all the laws and the statutes and the codes and everything we basically governed by, you got to understand, especially as it pertains to Black people, it doesn't really pertain to us. So we're talking about getting benefits and privileges or what have you, and we're forgetting what actually happened here. So I get everything's supposed to be about the Constitution, right? Everything's supposed to be about, Articles of Confederation, the Constitution, the amendments, everything that's supposed to govern us and give us what we believe is our rights and privileges and benefits and what have you, right? You have to understand, again, we're talking about something that happened during a takeover. So basically, if you open up a checking account and somebody steals your card and goes on a spending spree and then you report it and the person is caught, you get your stuff back, right? There isn't no statutes or codes or what have you that will allow that person to keep what is yours, and then you somehow have to figure it out. This is basically what we're talking about. We're talking about land that was already inhabited by Black people. So when you understand the oppression and why things have been the way that it is and why they hide history so hard, it's because they cannot allow us to reveal that truth when it's already been proven 100%. Genetically, it has been proven scientifically, it's been proven that we were here and they know we were here. It's something that you're not going to see mainstream. So when we're talking about 14th Amendment and everything like that, and I talked about this before in previous videos, we have to understand the truth. If we're going to do things in truth and in fairness, as far as let's give the Native Americans tax exempt status, right? We're going to give them their land. They don't have to pay taxes because they was here first, right? In that same context, if they was given that and we can prove that we were here before them, how come Black people have not been given it? How come even the truth has not been put out mainstream when we have seen multiple, professionals, doctors, scientists? We have the forensics. We have the proof that we were here, that this is our land. How come that has never been brought to the forefront, right? So this just goes into understanding our position in politics, understanding why they don't want us to be in a position that they are in as far as having a political party that can speak towards what I'm talking about here, right? So imagine if we had a Black political party that can come and lobby for exactly this, that can come and speak to this and bring in the scientists and bring in the doctors and bring in the proof that we have to say, hey, you know what? Black people was here first. We should get the same thing as the Native Americans since we are the real Native Americans. This is why this has not been done. This is why they stopped this at all costs. Because at some point, this will be brought to Congress. It will be brought to these people for them to do something about it. Now, we've been paying attention to what I've been talking about before in previous videos. I told you guys, things have to change, right? We see them trying to merge Black and white. It's been going on for a long time. You see them pushing Black and white, right? Because everything's about to change and they have to fix things. And if you're paying attention to Trump's policy, everything that's being done and put in place right now is to fix things. You guys have a unique opportunity to become multimillionaires in the next couple of years. And we talk about this in the society. This is real deal. This is what our parents did not do way back then during the dot-com bubble in the early 80s and 90s or what have you. So many things they could have invested in, but they did not believe what was possible. Everything we're seeing today shows you what's coming. There's going to be a huge change in our monetary system in the way we do business, the way we transfer money, right? And there's a buildup happening to create a better class of people to go along with this, a different status. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars, trillionaires, a new level of wealth that's about to happen once everything happened with stablecoin and all this stuff goes into action. And the government is sitting in a position to really make this big. They will not let the dollar fall as the world reserve currency. So they're going to change it up. And I get into this in the society much deeper. But here's the time where you have a chance to change your bloodline for all times. And paying attention to everything that's in the bill and everything that Trump's been passing, listen to what's being done. So It's not going to end welfare or whatever like that. Just have, age limits and so on and so forth. Different things that's going to help people kind of get out of their bullshit, get out their funk, and get out there and go and work and do things, right? As I said before, nobody should be on welfare for years. You shouldn't be relying on the government for years. It's keeping you stagnant. It's taking away your drive and your understanding of how the world works, and for you to go out there and make something of yourself. And that's a good thing. Some people want to be on welfare and rely on the system, and it's hurting you, right? So this is going to change. There's stuff in his bills to, if you're at a certain level tax-wise, you have to pay more taxes. And people looking at it and say, this is going to hurt the poor, this is for the rich. And there's things that's out there to make you get off your ass, because it has to be done this way. And it's going to really benefit people in the long run when you really understand. Once again, you take it with a grain of salt. And if you understand deeply where this is going, you'll get it. It'll make sense. But what I want people to understand is that, what we count on and what we're talking about as far as laws, government structures and constitutions and amendments and everything like that should not pertain to Black people, as we were here, and this is our country, and we was here before anybody. The fact that we can prove that we was on a planet before anybody, and that all these people come from us, this is a genetically proven scientific fact that they all come from us, right? So we're going to be talking about who was here first and giving people benefits and privileges or what have you based upon that. Then what's going on with us? And it's one of the things that people got to understand why people scream out for unity, because this is something that we could have came together and fixed a long time ago. But because we've been so distracted and divided by so many different things, and because we don't have a Black political party to really go out there and speak for things that we need, it has not been done. We don't have any Black leaders to speak for things that we need as a people. It has not been done. Our real Black leaders have been killed. The other Black leaders that come up have been bought off, and the other ones don't get enough support to do anything about it. This is one of the reasons why we are in this position that we are in, because of this. And until we understand where we are and what has happened, nothing's going to really change. But when you're talking about Constitution, when you're talking about amendments or what have you, and what benefits and privileges Black people should get, we should get exactly what the Native Americans got, and really more. Now, still got to look at it from a standpoint of conquest, right? I took your shit, basically. So what happened is they came in and killed us, stole our stuff, and then made a completely new system based on, laws that they made that's going to benefit them as a people and not us. So with the 14th Amendment, it would have been them basically creating a separate person for us, Black people, and us not being included with the free people that the Constitution is talking about, the original free people that the Constitution is speaking about, right? So we're not really included in that with the 14th Amendment and with the Constitution, I should say. And the 14th Amendment is kind of really hinting on that, as far as basically saying, all persons and not all sovereign persons, which is basically what it's going to be talking about, before that, all free persons or sovereign persons, which what people were before everything changed, right? So them classifying us as persons and then citizens or what have you, these are things that they made up to take our shit. And this is what you really got to understand. People talk about the Constitution as if it's this super legitimate thing, and it's not. It's a document that was made up by our conquerors, right? To basically govern their conquest. And it should not pertain to the people who originally was here. What are we doing this in? What spirit is this in? The spirit of truth? Is this in the spirit of morality? We're talking about conquest. We're talking about theft. We're talking about the people who had their language taken away from them, who was enslaved, indoctrinated, so on and so forth. And then you want us to rally behind the system that you created and you're using to control us and our shit, right? So you got to understand that. So if we're going to go into anything in truth or what have you, that has to be laid out, and that needs to be understood globally, that we are buying into this whole thing. And it's one of the things that, when people always talk about us being a violent people and so on and so forth, and we just want to get over it, we have accepted everything these people have done to us, even knowing what we know today. We accept it all, right? We accept their flag, we accept their creeds, we accept their holidays and everything. And we're not coming together as a people and saying, hey, this is what it should be, or that we should at least get what the Native Americans got. We're not saying nothing. We're just going along to get along, going along and trying to get whatever we can get out of the situation, right? So again, it's one of the reasons why they keep us from having that political party, because these are things that we can legit argue, that we can legit form around, right? And it's one of the reasons why we never seen any black unions, right? And it's unity is a big problem for them. They do not want that, because if we unite, we'll start to talk about stuff like this. We'll start to look at the structure of how this country has been built and how we built it, and we'll ask for more, and then we'll demand more. We're not realizing that we're the main ones being used to drive this whole thing. We literally drive this country. And it's one of the things that we don't realize, because we're put down so much. We don't see how high up we already are, how much they use us and need us to move forward, how our energy drives everything, right? And it's like a reverse psychology thing. When you look on TV and you see the slave movies, you look on social media and see, black people being treated unfairly and racism, and it's like we're the second class, lower class citizen. Meanwhile, everybody's copying off of us. Meanwhile, everybody wants to be like us. We go back even in the 90s, 80s, 90s, big butts wasn't a thing. They hated it. It was gross or what have you. Look at it now. Look at the lips. Look at how they're changing and taking who we are. Look at the dancing, the hip hop dancing that's going on. Look at everything that we can see clearly came from the black community and black culture, and what we put out there to try to give ourselves an identity away from what they, stereotype us to be. And they're benefiting from it and we are not. So it's things you got to look at, man. And I understand, again, Constitution and so on and so forth. I was in the military, so I know. And it's just like we become patriotic, and we're patriots, and we understand the country and what that's supposed to mean and everything. But we do that in ignorance. We do that not really understanding true history and what really should be existing in truth for black people in this country. And that should be it. We should get what we deserve. We should get, at least at the minimum, what Native Americans get, and more so. And this is one of the things that's been on the forefront of the discussions for reparations. I've talked about this before, which kind of died down, but I believe it will come back up once this crypto and this money system thing changes. But as I said before, we got to pay attention to what they're trying to do and how they're trying to change the black man. They're trying to change everything in our situation, and it's being done very subtly. There's a lot out there for you guys to benefit from, and a lot for you to really take in. And I can't stress this enough, how the moment is here for you to really change everything. It's never going to happen again, not in your lifetime. This moment now that's coming up, and what's about to happen with crypto, and what's about to happen with stablecoin, and everything that's about to happen with our monetary system and how it's going to change. See, a lot of people are sitting back and just waiting for World War III. And I said this before in my video. I told you guys, it's not going to be what you think it is. Everybody's talking about prophecy and getting ready for end times and so on and so forth. We know where this all comes from. But it's not going to be the war you think it is. It's not going to happen the way people think it's going to happen. That can mean so many different things. But what is definitely happening right in front of your face is the change in our monetary system. And you can kind of see where things are going to head to from then on, if you understand. So again, we talk about this in society, but there is a unique opportunity for people to benefit from this system, right? And that's what it's about. At this point, you only can benefit from it. I talked about unity and so on and so forth. And I always tell you guys, you have to become wealthy and successful on your own right, independently right now, right? Personal economics. Get yourself together first, then worry about everybody else later on. That's the name of the game. If you get yourself right, then you can get other people right. So forget about the unity, forget about all that. Once you get yourself right, it will just happen naturally. You can go and teach and actually help people out. But you have to pay attention, and it's one of the things that I try to get people to really understand is, don't get too caught up in the statutes and the codes and the Constitution and so on and so forth, or what you think they're going to give us or do or what have you. It's all bullshit anyway. All of it. It's just work on yourself and do what you can do in your life right now to benefit you moving forward.